Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic and we get to play some Mill today. Really excited about this. Teferi Master of Time and came with a bunch of other cards that there is like a version where you can get all the different the same card art type of style with it. I'm pretty sure that'll become be an event that we'll be able to see at some point. But right now I am on the account that Wizards let me use for a little bit, trying to milk as much out of this account as possible with 1.3 million gems. I definitely don't have that on my normal account. This is just, I get it for 1 day each set, so it's awesome. But yeah, basically what we're trying to do, we want to mill people out as quickly as possible with this deck. We are trying to mill them out, and they actually do have mill as a keyword now, which you can see over on the side. It says to mill a card, a player puts the top 2 cards of the library into the graveyard. So you get to actually use the word keyword mill now, which is, I love it. It's amazing. So basically what we're trying to do with this deck is we got a few really good pieces from Core Set 2021 that help us with the aggressive mill deck, which also helps us with just kind of playing the more tempo-y side. First off, we have Teferi Master of Time, which helps us draw cards, helps us kind of phase out of the things. It just helps us have a lot of good tempo type of play with this. And tempo works really well with mill, especially when we have things like Teferi's Tutelage, which 3 convert mana cost. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. We've seen it with Psychic Corrosion being really powerful, just having the basic effect of the bottom part of this. Being able to have it draw a card and discard a card as it enters the battlefield as well is awesome. Being able to have this automatically mill 2 cards as soon as it enters the battlefield is huge. So getting multiple of these is really nice, especially with Teferi, where it draws a card on your turn, on their turn, your turn, their turn. Just keeps going back and forth, draws a bunch of cards. If you have Teferi's Ageless Insight as well, which is the 4 mana legendary enchantment, if you would draw a card except for the first one you draw on each of your draw steps, you draw 2 cards instead. So we do have kind of this card draw synergy with Teferi's Tutelage and everything like that, but that's not the only way that we're going to be milling. We do have a bunch of good mill, but we also have things just like Drowned Secrets, where whenever you cast a blue spell, target player mills 2 cards. We've seen that go off and do pretty well with mill decks before as well. Of course, there's Yorion in the mix as well. Right now, luckily not too many people are playing Yorion from what we've been seeing so far. We could also honestly just play Yorion in this deck. That'd be kind of fun. Being able to blink all the Teferi's Tutelages, that would actually be pretty sweet. So that's another deck we'll build maybe in the future. So we get to play a bunch of just really cheap spells with Drowned Secrets as well, with Merfolk Seerkeeper, Ops, Overwhelm Apprentice. But we don't have as many as you typically have. You have a lot more 2-drop type stuff typically in this deck. Well, Baron comes in to help us with that slot as well. So Baron, 3 mana, when it enters the battlefield, return up to one other target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. So we can bounce something on their side for the tempo play, bouncing a planeswalker, bouncing a creature, and then we can, at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from your battlefield this turn, draw a card. And so we can bounce our Merfolk Seerkeeper or a Brazen Borrower and be able to get the adventure effect again out of them. And so we can then, with Merfolk Seerkeeper, bounce it back, have 2 more triggers for the Drowned Secrets, mill them with the 4 cards with the Venture Deeper as well, all this stuff. And so overall, the deck is just really powerful. On the top end, or the other kind of filler card here is Didn't Say Please. 3 mana counter spell, counter it, its controller mills 3 cards. It's really good. This deck could probably use maybe just a smidge more interaction, but I wanted to kind of force in as many Core Set 2021 cards into this as possible so that we can see how well they play for us, see how well it does, and just kind of have a straightforward game plan. I think that you could bring it into blue white, a bunch of different things, but this is just showcasing what we have here for this deck right now, what is in standard, and I'm super excited to be jumping into it. So let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. All right, up against Lemon Nagasako, bring it on. So Merfolk Seerkeeper into Drowned Secrets is good. I am going to go ahead and use the first part of this on turn 1. Might as well. Then turn 2, Drowned Secrets, then hold up Didn't Say Please. Milling them all like a crazy. We just hit a lot of lands. Hopefully they're going to be light on lands here. This looks like a prowess deck of some sort. Sprite Dragon, yep, definitely that kind of deck. Not having too many flyers is going to be rough. All right, Drowned Secrets, pass the turn. Holding up Didn't Say Please will be nice. Although, It Sprite Dragon was a really powerful card for them to get out. We have very little interaction with it at the moment. I mean, we can find Baron, we can find Brazen Borrower, but we have to find them first. Shocks it in. Down to 17. Light up the stage. Okay. Pass the turn. We'll just hold up the didn't say please here. Down to 14. Yeah, we'll go ahead and counter that. Pyromander. All right, I think right now we need to draw cards, and so I am going to go for the Teferi tutelage here first. Milling them again, down to 36 cards. And the Sprite Dragon was just so good here. Terramander also is kind of really good. We don't have Ashiok right now, I just realized. All right, discard and okay, Brazen Bar were pretty sweet here. Let's go for Secret Keeper. So part of the issue with milling them is that this Terramander can get even bigger, quicker, and adapt. So we're not dead on the next turn, I don't think. They're down to half their cards left. We get to bounce the Sprite Dragon, play Brazen Borrower as a blocker on the next turn. Take 9. Ooh, take a lot. Down to 1. Well, we're not dead. Therefore, winning. Alrighty then. Well, we will pass the turn. Actually, just kidding. Get in. Gotta show that we're serious. Let's see here. Which one is actually easier or harder to bring back? Yeah, so I think we bounce the Sprite Dragon. Mill them for 2. Bring out Brazen Borrower. Mill them for 2. And they have the shock anyway. All right, that works. All right, well, we did start doing some mill stuff. We found the Brazen Bar or the bounce stuff a little bit too late. And that is one of the biggest issues with mill in general is flyers that can get over our 0-4 blocker early on before we can find our bounce stuff. And so, I mean, that was just, they had the perfect turn 2 play. And then we just helped them out with the other stuff. So we could also bring in Ashiok into this deck. Again, I'm trying to focus a little bit more on playing Core Set 2021 in this so that we're not just... Because like exiling the graveyard could be really useful and important thing to be doing. But I'm okay with how it's playing right now. Not okay with this dead screen. Yeah, so we are playing what's basically Psychic Corrosion. I'm putting a little bit of focus into the Drowned Secrets as well as the Fairy's Tutelage so that we don't just have to hit one card to be able to play, you know, mill. And that was the biggest issue with Psychic Corrosion in the past is that you were built all around this one card that kind of worked for you and kind of didn't. Yeah, so this is pretty sweet hand though. I'm liking this. Overwhelm the Apprentice to be able to scry 2 first. Double Merfolk Secret Keeper the turn after that. Baron brings stuff back. Actually, we'll probably go for Teferi's Tutelage first. We do need lands. We can opt for a land next turn. Brazen Borrower is also really nice. But we really need lands. All right. We have some interaction already in hand. We're fine. It's fine. We're fine. Up against Legend, by the way. All right, mill 4. Why don't ya? Oh yeah, just put an Izzet Phoenix into their deck, into the graveyard. I'm so glad that that's what I did. 3 or more instants and sorcery spells. Maybe we do need to bring Ashiok into this deck. I mean, we can't hit it consistently though. That's the issue. Is like Ashok, yeah, it's great. It'll do some things, but like, it's we can never really bring more than 2 copies into this deck to make it consistent. I don't think. Maybe the 2 are worth it. Tormod's Crypt might be worthwhile to play as well. I mean, it's definitely Ashok if we're bringing anything there, but I feel like that's more of a sideboard card than what's the actual game plan with this deck. Can't wait to get your hands on M21. Need Baron for my Historic Wizards. Seriously, Historic Wizards with Baron is looking so sweet. All right, draw a card. We actually need the land. We don't really need the extra Merfolk Secret Keeper. We could find more lands with Baron. Yeah, let's drop the Secret Keeper. Swing in, pass the turn. Well, we've had a lot of good things happen so far. I mean, Teferi would be sweet. Stormwing's Entity. It's okay. Ooh, didn't say please. The issue is that they're just going to play a bunch of cheap stuff. And didn't say please only does so much for us if they just have a bunch of things. So I think that we go for the aggressive mill plan here with Teferi. So tick up, draw a card, discard a card, discard Castle Vantress, mill them 2, no attacks past the turn. We do get the phase out ability. Let's just hope they don't have how many Arclight Phoenixes come back? 1, 2. This is fine. All right. All right. Yep, that's a way to cast all the spells you need. I haven't seen Finale of Promise played in quite a while. You don't even have to cast the additional cost on that. Yeah, no issues at all here. Oh, they got another Arclight Phoenix out there. All right, let's see. Luckily, we get to wait and see where they attack first. So we can hopefully get a lot of them attacking at Teferi. If they swing everything at face, then we just phase out the Stormwing Entity. Yeah. Just a few. Just a few. Maybe I should have held up the didn't say please. Looking back now, probably would have been a better play. So yeah, here's the thing. They have to swing 3 creatures at Teferi to kill it. How does phase out work? Yeah, target creature you don't control phases out. Treat it, anything attached to it. They don't exist until its controller's next turn. So it's at the beginning of the next turn. So we basically get to stop it for 1 attack. I guess they only have to swing 2 at it, huh? Yeah, so they got it. So we tick up, draw a card instead. Discard Baron, I guess. Okay, down to 14.
Gone worse.
I don't think didn't say please saves us here. Attack in here with Overwhelm, Prentice. We're at 27. So we could draw a card and try to find like Brazen Borrower or something. We only get to draw at the end step though. They have 9 damage, so I think that we balance the Stormwing Entity. Pass the turn. So yeah, so there is something we said about playing more cards that just draw a ton of stuff. I think that trying to go for the more tempo deck play is going to be more consistent with this, even though right now it's not looking like it. But that's just because we haven't been able to piece together the right things at the right time. We only had one bounce spell. I ended up putting back, I mean, we gave him 3 Arc-like Phoenixes. That's the issue here. Yeah, down to 3. Yeah, that's not good. All right, good game. Finale and Teamer. That sounds fun. I'm a fan of all the Finale cards. The red one is a lot more niche, yeah, like you're saying. Yeah, it's harder to play in a lot of things, but it can be really good. It's a bigger blowout if it gets countered. It's the biggest thing. Like that's the reason I didn't say please, is because I figured that they were just going to be playing like 3 or 4 1-mana spells, but they seem to have a lot more just like higher cost stuff. So I should have probably just held up the didn't say please there. Dude, we're up against Pummeler. Electrostatic Pummeler is still my favorite card of all time. Up against Kahira? That's good. Are we on the draw, I believe? Okay, pass the turn. Holding up the out for the Teferi's tutelage might be worthwhile. I think you try to use as much stuff as you can early on. Bronze Line is fine. That to the bottom. Double Merfolk Secret Keeper. That's a pretty good block right now. Yeah. Milieu. Do I play the blocker here and slow down the clock, or do I mill again? Let's play a blocker. All right, so we're up against cats. Cat tribal time. Icon of Ancestry. They could have Kier here in the main deck. They could have Domri.
Forward to seeing you running away. Wild beasts are bringing your comeuppance.
Alrighty. Let's keep milling. And I'm thinking Brazen Borrower here, but I could also just like play this out the block again, opt, try to hit something else. I could have just held up didn't say please as well, I guess. Let's just pass the turn. Keep safe in Omniscience. Omniscience could be really nice. We're probably just gonna flash out Brazen Borrower to kill Domri with. We'll hold up didn't say please as well. Pass the turn. The issue is that we can't counter stuff as long as they tick up with Domri first. Overflowing Insight. Remind me what that one does. I don't remember. Oh, it's draw 7, right? Is it in standard right now? If I'm remembering right, Overflowing Insight was Ixalan. They did not tick up with Domri, So, yeah, we'll counter Shakira.
Nothing disgusts me more than law and order.
We'll say no blocks right now. I'll take it down to 12. Unfortunately, they can make him not block on later turns. All right, pass the turn. I think we're just playing Brazen Borrower here. Like, they're going to be tempted to fight here so they can get in for the 400 points of damage, which then we can actually kill Domri. We're not actually dealing with Brazen Borrower or Bronze-Head Lion, unfortunately, this way. They really not have like anything else to play with this. I feel like they've been using up a bunch of mana. Just keep milling, just keep milling. Alright, well, bounce will be nice for that later. Yeah, let's draw into some bounce. I guess I could have drawn something first. We need more interaction here. And that'd be nice to be able to mill with. Alright, Baron, perfect. All right, so attack in there. So something we can do here is I can play Baron, bounce Brazen Borrower, bounce then. Yeah, so bounce Brazen Borrower back to hand. I think go ahead and bounce now. Just in case they have some counter or some way to interact. TEFERI's pretty nice. Okay. We're definitely not milling them. I know we need to get the Tutelage down soon, but we have to be able to actually play it and survive. This is where splashing into white for mill is probably the best because we can actually play board wipes that are relevant, you know?
Have at it, boys.
Oh, come on. Give me a flippin' bone here. Okay, I can Baron bounce this. Flash and Brazen Borrower again. Or hold up didn't say please at the same time. Alright, bounce that, pass the turn. I mean, we're really low on life total right now. It's not looking super great. The fight doesn't keep this alive. TEFERI gives us a little bit of a chance, especially if we hit a land. All right, now they fight here, swing in. Not dead though. Not dead though. Okie dokie. All right, this is removal and card draw, so we get to draw a card.
This isn't my first time being the hero.
And we didn't hit another removal spell, so yeah, that's game. All right, good game. Oh man. Dude, we're just not quite getting the mill stuff going for us here. Do we just need more interaction? I mean, like I was saying, the biggest issue is that we aren't playing board wipes. We aren't playing things like that that can legitimately do it for us. I mean, Bronze-Head Lion's hard to play against anyway with board wipes, but I could have phased one of them out. Didn't really matter. Need more colors. Yeah, I think if we can have the 3-mana Teferi, that Teferi, have a kind of more the control type of plan. Because the issue is that we're losing on turn 7, and we need to get to like maybe turn 9 for the way that we're playing. I mean, it's gonna work sometimes. Heartwarming Redemption Mill. That sounds fun. Drown Secrets is okay. We have Brazen Borrower, which works well with Baron. I mean, we keep having decent hands. I'm not sure what's like this doesn't have 1-drops. It doesn't have the perfect curve, but on the play we get Drown Secrets. We get to start milling stuff. It's not bad. Verity Circle could be interesting. Yeah. The issue is having too many 3-drops that, because then you're relying on, you know, if your game plan is having 3 different 3-drops be on the battlefield at the same time, you're not doing that until turn 5. And if each one of them don't actually do that much, it's hard to really compete. That's where that's where Drowned Secrets tends to be a little bit stronger than Teferi's Tutelage, is that it's a 2-drop and it works well with playing a bunch of other 1 and 2-drops. And stacking them together is pretty sweet stuff. Ugin, you mean Eugene, the big old lizard? Yep. Hypnotic Fairy. Hypnotic Fairy is pretty limited in what things it can counter. And I think it's like the same price as Didn't Say Please. If I was going to bring in other counter spells, it'd be Quench. Like, honestly, Quench wouldn't be bad in this deck, just so we can hold up that turn. But Quench is almost a dead card if you're on the draw versus the play. In some certain matchups. Let's see if they're gonna play Magic or not. But we might get the free win here. They just highlighted something. I don't know, whatever. Alright, milling their Embercleave is fun. Alright, Zerta Goblin. Alright, Merfolk Secret Keeper. Mill for 8. See, this is where Drowned Secrets is so powerful. We can do a lot of cool things with Teferi's Tutelage as well. Like that's the whole plan, is that we want both game plans available for us. We just keep running up against really aggressive decks. This one will work pretty well. We get to have Brazen Borrower if it gets bigger. This still blocks the 3/3 just fine. You've never liked Mill? Dude, it's the most interesting form of winning ever. You know, it's just a really interesting thing. It's hard to be good at Mill. Mill is just it's not a consistent type of format. The whole thing is that it's the funniest way to win. Like, it is literally like the jankiest thing you can do, which you all know I live for jank. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and tempo them out a little bit here. Keep milling them a little bit. Hopefully we can disrupt their land draw, that kind of stuff. We'll hold up Didn't Say Please in this. Pass the turn. Yeah, it is a non-interactive try not to die thing. Like if you're really trying to mill them out before you try to go more aggressive mill. And so again, this is trying to shove in the Teferi side of mill along the way. All right, mill them for 7 more. I mean, we're doing pretty well here. Hitting a land would be pretty sweet. So we can Baron, bounce this back, Merfolk Secret Keeper again, mill them another 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we're pretty close to just doing it. Come on, don't time me out. That's the biggest thing is people get so salty about mill because it's something that other decks can't interact with you very well. It's just a race basically, and so it's usually pretty annoying because it's like all the cards they put in their deck don't interact with what you're trying to do because they're all in the graveyard now. You know, but I mean that's the whole fun of it is that you get to play some fun things like this. I can see how Leyline of Sanctity might be a card that comes into play a bit more often because it beats veto, it beats mill, it beats there's quite a few things that have to target, and it's to me it's fun. Yeah, yep. All right, that's what people are doing these days. All right, go burn. I guess we can just bounce them. We don't get to draw the card here, but it slows them down even more. No attacks, pass the turn. Yeah. Mono red, but they have 60 life instead, yeah. Basically. But if you ever get the mill, it is so fun. Man, if they really time me out here. Alright, so another Baron. Target them, target them. Oh man. Alrighty. Well, I mean, sometimes you get timed out. Honestly, I think that I've seen more timeouts whenever being timed out when I've played mill decks than anything else. So we finally got to the mill plan. We finally made it work, and it's Drowned Secrets. It seems to be is more powerful. So honestly, there is something to be said about maybe just not using Teferi's tutelage, having it be more like Baron works really well with Drowned Secrets, and so we suddenly have a really cool play where we can kind of go that plan. Didn't say please, maybe bring in more quenches, bringing in more like unsummons, just more bounce spells, more ways to interact. Just in general, might be a better play because like we do have unsummon. In the format right now where it's another 1 mana, you know, really good tempo play. The hard part with Drowned Secrets though is that you don't have a very good game plan if you don't find Drowned Secrets, and so having that extra 4 copies of something that is doing the same game plan and drawing cards is, you know, like, and that's the thing is Teferi's tutelage doesn't need a lot to start going off. You just need 1 or 2 copies of it, the same with Drowned Secrets, and then like a Teferi Master Time, you know, just kind of going off with it. We never once saw Teferi's Ageless Insight. We never really saw a lot of different cards, and so a little bit frustrating getting milled out at the end there. But the deck looks fun. There's definitely some ways to tweak it to try to get it just right. And again, mill is one of those decks that you don't go into it trying to be insanely competitive. You do want it to be consistent. You know, you're doing what you're trying to do and you can make it work. But if you ever get the mill off, it's just super fun that you did it. And so we did do it. It was awesome. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video for that one. So yeah, if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And for Twitch, we're going to keep going on for other stuff.